Part 2, Momentum. We still gotta fix a couple of little bugs, like this one. Watch, kind of like walks into the wall, and then like, see, kind of takes a little while before he gets out of the wall. Maybe this way. And sometimes it happens. See that. Anyways, we're gonna fix that, and then also when he lands, we want him to go into a crouching state, like he's squatting. So we gotta add the squat state. So let's do that now. So far we've got, let's see, go to your objects, choose your guy, go to steps, movement, and so far we have the walk state, damage, punch, idle, jump, and we're gonna add the crouching state. So your switch statements, go there, enter, tab, ace. Alright, and then we're gonna call it crouch, I guess. Crouch and tiger. And then don't forget to add your break statement, because if you don't, everything here will execute. This will execute, then this, then this, then this. That's why you need to put a break. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing we do every time we create a new state. We have to change the sprite, step 1. So, you see we're right here, we're under the case walk. We have if sprite does not equal walk, then set it to walk, set the image index to 0, the speed, the can jump. And then we're repeating that same code here and here. So once you start repeating code like this, it's a very good indicator that it's time to create a script, because I don't want to have to keep repeating all that crap. So that being said, go to scripts and create a new script. I'm going to call it ser change sprite. Terrible at naming these things. I'm sure there's a better name for this, but yeah, I'm just gonna call it that. And then we're gonna pass a sprite index to this script. So it's gonna take a sprite index. So we're gonna say var sprite equals argument 0. So what that means is that when we call the script, right, when I call it, when I say ser change sprite, I'm going to say, and for the crouching, we want sprites, spr.crouch, that's what it's called. And this name, I'm getting it from the other script that we wrote in another episode, which is this one. So crouching was spr crouch. Alright. So that's what we're going to pass here. So once we have that, all we're going to do now is just grab all this stuff here, except for the can jump. Leave that alone. So copy this, paste it over here, ctrl-v to paste, and then you can erase all of this now because you don't need it. All you need to do now is just call the script ser change sprite, and then sprites spr dot what was it, walk? Spr dot walk. There. Is it wrong? Oh yeah. Here. There it is. Boom. Then back up here. Let's see. A little closing squiggly line, whatever. And then yeah, that'll be that. We're gonna actually add something to here. let's see, there was another thing we had to add. Oh yeah, it was this timer thing. We'll do that right now. Okay, so this is our script, and here where it says sprite index does not equal, change that to sprite, which is the argument that we passed in. Same thing here, sprite, and that's it. Close that, and so everything should work the way it normally does. So let's see, I'm gonna copy this, and I'm gonna, okay, alright, right. I'm gonna do it here. So erase all this, then this one, except that, we're gonna replace this with punch and walk. Then where else? Let's see. Okay. Here to just remember the can jump variable, boolean, flag. Don't erase that. Everything else can go. So this video is a lot about killing off old code and replacing it with new fresh code, because we don't really need the old code anymore. So let's erase walk and let's put jump here. And once again, this. We'll replace these right now in 1 second. Just for now, let's see. Okay, so everything should work normal. So let's just run it just to make sure I didn't break anything. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's do a walk, jump. Okay, that works, and then punch. This guy. Can't line up. Can't line up. This is not good. Jesus. They need more friction. Anyway, so everything works the way it should. So good. Alright, so let's go all the way down to our jumping state. You know, this what I just did right here, and that's the nature of coding. You know, you type up your code, make it work, and then once you start noticing that you're repeating things over and over, that's a sign that it's time to create a script. So you just grab that code, put it in a script, and then replace all the old code with the new code, and then from that point forward, you just use the new code until you have to replace that code with an even better one, and then you just keep doing that over and over again. So here with the jump state, once we land, we don't want to go into the idle state anymore. We want to go into the crouch state. So I'm going to replace idle with crouch. So now we go into our crouching state. Look at that and that. Okay, so now once we land, we're going to go straight into our crouch state. We're going to change our sprite, but we're going to need a timer here, because when you land, so you know, like normally, for example, the punching sprite, we can just say once you get to the last frame, then go back to your idle state or whatever. But when you only have one drawing in your sprite, like for example the crouch, you know, it's the same drawing 3 times. One way you could do it is just like cut and paste a bunch of these until you get the amount of time that you want, and then just say at the end of the last one, go back to your idle state. But in our case, we're not going to do it that way. We're going to say, we're going to instead use a timer. So what I was saying before, like over here where you punch the guy and he goes into that damage state, and then a timer gets set to room speed, which is in our case is 60 frames per second, so this is about 1 second. And then afterwards we start subtracting. let's see. Sorry, the video ran out of time. So what I was saying is that once you set your timer to your room speed, it starts subtracting 4 from it every step. So that would actually be a quarter of a second. And then once the timer reaches 0, then you go back to your idle. So what we're gonna do, so that I don't have to replace all this, right? Well, at least not right now. Just grab this timer equals room speed, copy it, and then go to your change sprite script, and then just drop it right in there. And you know, this is not gonna affect the other states like walking and crouching, because we're gonna set the timer, but you know, we're not gonna use it, so it won't affect this. So now that we have that set, now we can erase all this old code, right? And then once again we set the sprite, and then we just call the script again, change sprite, and then we're gonna say sprites str dot damage. Is it damage or damaged? Alright, it's damaged with the T. Then do that. So that'll set the timer and change the sprite. And then we're gonna use this method. So I'm just gonna copy it, copy this, and then I'm gonna bring it back up to my crouch. And we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna subtract 4 from the timer. Once the timer reaches 0 or less than 0, then we'll go back to our idle. So let's test that out, and that should work. And we get stuck, so we messed up. Go back to your jump state, and right here I put a space where I feel like an extra space. So just get rid of that space and then run it again. So those little tiny details, seriously, pain in the ass. Alright, so now it should work. Boom, there it is. See? Land, go into your little crouching state, and then go back to idle. And then once you're in your crouching state, you can't move until he's done crouching. So that's pretty cool, right? Now we have that, so it's starting to look a lot like freaking River City Ransom. Whoa. Eee, look at this, like it's River City. Let's see what else. Okay, so there's another weird thing here. So check it out. Like if I jump on this, and then I see how he slides off of it, but then kind of stays in that crouching position. So we want to change that. We want to fix it so that as soon as he goes off the edge, he goes from the crouch into the jumping state. Because right now what's happening is that he's going into his crouch state, and nothing is happening until he's done crouching. So we want to be able to interrupt that crouch. So go back to your crouching state, and then down here after the if timer part, put if, actually you can just cut and paste. Just go if z is less than z floor, copy that, and then paste it here. So same thing. So even if we're in our crouching state, but we're not touching the ground, just cancel the crouching and go straight into the jump. So let's try it now. Okay, so let's see. So jump off the edge, and you see that? So this little crouching thing got interrupted because we went off the edge. So that looks pretty cool. I like the way that looks. So there's that. Now finally, the last thing we're gonna fix is gonna be this little thing here where it's like kind of going to the wall. Sort of get stuck there. Doesn't really have much this end. Okay. So anyways, go back to, let's close that, step event of your object, and go to your collision code, and we're going to replace this 1 right here. So I minus, instead of I minus 1, we're going to say I minus the value of friction for this one, for the horizontal, and for the vertical. So that should make sense. Okay, so let's see. Walk into this, then there it goes. See, we don't get stuck anymore. Oh. Seems like it's working. So there you go. Bug fixed. I think it's there it is. Let's see. Okay, so let's go back to our sprite. There's something we have to fix here. So right now, if I go to my mask, you can see here the width of this sprite is 32 pixels. So right now, the left side is 8. It's actually 9 because the 0 gets counted. So there's 9 pixels from here to here, from the edge of the sprite to the beginning of the mask, and then from here to here, there's let's see, 8, 9, 10. There's like 10 sprites here. So there's more space on the right side here than there is on this side, and that's going to cause a problem when we flip our guy around using image scale. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a little more space here on the left side so that the amount of space from here to here is even. It's proportional to this side. So that'll prevent a bunch of problems later on. So just change your left 8 to 10, and there, now we have an equal distance on both sides. That'll fix a lot of problems. So do that for all your sprites, starting with the idle. I'm not going to do all of them right now, just in the interest of time, but you guys should definitely do it, because I'm going to do this behind the scenes. So go over your sprites and change that left 8 to 10. Then that should fix any issues that we had before. Okay, so let's see. There. See, it's not getting stuck at all. Feels good. That solves that problem. So, boom, there it is. That's it for today. We finished our momentum and we're ready to move on. Somebody had mentioned health bars, menus. So I think the next video we're gonna focus on the health bars, and adding that little black sort of area up here for your status, your health, and your money and all that stuff. So we'll work on that on the next video. Right? Till next time. Peace.